Okay, so it's Thinking Man's Thursday, party people. Let's talk about rising to challenges. And whether or not you should rise to all of them. First thing you have to recall, or you have to remember, beard's kind of growing in. Looks like a wound. Excuse me. So, the first thing you need to remember is that not every challenge deserves your response. Someone can challenge your authority. That's not important if you're not on the job, or it's not somebody interfering with you raising your child, something of that nature. Someone can challenge your masculinity. This is generally a sign that they don't have a great grip on theirs. Or that they're fucking with you. But if they're fucking with you, you'd already know it and it wouldn't really be a challenge. And the reason I bring this up is because through a humorous, to me at least, group of circumstances, I'm currently feuding, not really, the guy's not that important, but I'm currently feuding with someone who's, and I do use the air quotes very thoroughly, it's not really a feud, but I'm feuding with someone on Twitter who has somewhere in the range of 60,000 followers, and I've got about 1,400, so I've got roughly a 50th of what he does. And yet, on a throwaway comment about something he said about someone else, he jumped all over me immediately, like within minutes. Now, to me, someone who has an account that's that big, unless you're on a day off, or you were just happened to be sitting on the toilet, I don't know how you have the time to respond that quickly if you weren't holding your phone. And probably actually on Twitter at the time. I've only got, like I said, I've only got 1,400 plus followers. Like, it's less than 1,410 as far as I know. By the way, follow me over there on X, Rumble, YouTube, Gab, Substack. Anyway, like I say, I've got a fairly small number of followers. I'm a small channel. I'm growing organically. And one of the implications I had made to someone else in the thread was that this person seems to have so much time on their hands, yet has such a high follower count, that it really makes me question whether or not he's really not got bot followers. And of course someone else suggested, oh no, he absolutely does. Look at the number. Yeah, because it's impossible to put a bot on X right now, right? If you believe that, I'd like to sell you some waterfront property, some oceanfront property in Mongolia. But my point about challenges is this. That person sees me, with my 1,400 followers, as a challenger. I, looking at someone with 60,000 followers, don't see him as a challenge. That's an interesting perspective. And the reason I have that perspective is because I'm capable of realizing that social media is not real life. Now, if that person showed up at my house with 57,000 people behind him, I'd take him seriously. I'd still attempt to kick his ass and probably get killed in the process, but that's beside the point. But the real point I'm trying to make here, you have to prioritize what you consider to be a challenge. You have to be discerning and discriminatory in what you decide to respond to and why. Now, my thinking with this guy is obviously I've somewhere along the line challenged his ego, his self-image. He can't challenge mine. Maybe it's because I grew up in the 90s before the internet was a thing. Maybe it's because I came up through the 90s and 2000s where everybody on the internet could be a middle-aged bald guy. No matter what they claim to be. Maybe it's because I'm just Gen X enough not to give a fuck. Who knows? But I don't see him responding to me in an angry fashion as a challenge. He is incapable of assaulting my ego because I simply don't invest in X or any other social media that way. Don't get me wrong. I value every single follow I've got. You guys are the reason that I'm actually starting to get close to making a full-time living at this shit. Meager though it will be. But the thing that struck me funny about this is someone who is, we'll call him celebrity adjacent, because he's not really a celebrity. And there are other celebrity adjacent people that I've talked to, that I talk to on a regular basis, who not only are far more even-keeled, but are far less egotistical, far more comfortable with who they are, that you can't challenge their ego, even with harsh criticism, because they look at it and they go, okay, I'm not the work I've done. Like, there's a particular fellow that directed a movie that I reviewed recently, and I was kind of harsh on it, but I think it was deservedly, I think I was harsh but fair. I try to always be fair. And I don't think I affected his ego in the slightest, which is great, because I never intended to. But by the same token, this fella that I'm feuding with seems to have gotten his panties completely in a bunch and all out of sorts over 20 words that some nobody from Newfoundland said to him. How? How do you prioritize that so much? How bad is your ego? And this is where I'm coming to the point with responding to a challenge. You need to understand the only challenges you truly need to respond to, especially if you're a man, are physical ones. Whether it's lifting something heavy, moving something out of your way, driving safely, or, in the worst potentialities, having to fight someone. Those are the challenges you need to rise to, especially if you're defending someone else when it comes to the physical. But when it comes to something online, laugh it off and move on. Or at worst, you can do what I do and engage in the insult game. That was a great pastime back when I was a kid. This is how we determined who was our friends, who was the smart guy in the group, who was the absolute savage that you should never piss off. Yeah, because he would destroy your ego. And it strikes me as a mark of weakness that someone can be so easily upset, which Newfoundland word, it's basically past tense of upset. But it strikes me as absolutely hilarious that someone can be that easily upset by what amounts to a nobody. And I don't get it. If every time you open your mouth, you're engaging in a war of reputation, of defending your own ego, then you might need to take some time off. Or, find some other way to realign your chakras, or whatever the fuck the kids are saying these days. Anyway, folks, I hope you're doing well. I hope you continue to do well. Don't forget that you can support me over on X, or through Ko-Fi. Links will be in the description. I will have I'm recording this on Wednesday for Thinking Man's Thursday. I will have the next chapter of Moonraker up sometime today, and this video that you're watching now will be out on Thursday, and hopefully then I'll see you guys on Friday for Fandom Friday. We have a couple of legends lost, unfortunately. Yeah, we'll talk about those on Friday. Anyway, I hope you're doing well. I hope you continue to do well. And as always, rise and rise again until lambs become lions. Bye-bye.